Okay, so things have changed a little bit since the last video that I made. That is an understatement. So, yeah, I'm supposed to be using this channel as a way to express my inner feels and so forth so that I'm not just ruminating about those things myself. So, I mean, I guess if there were ever a time for that, this would be the time. It's kind of hard to not feel like the world is ending with everything that's going on. Um, I'm thankful that I have my medication because um, even though I do have breakthrough symptoms sometime, I'm glad that I'm not manic or delusional right now because I'd be horrified and it would probably be um, a risky situation because I'm here by myself. I live alone, so that means that once the self isolation thing started to come about, that I pretty much became sealed off from society. Um, Let me see. Today is the 20th of March. I went out for maybe 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours on Saturday, which was the 14th, and I went to my job at my office on the 2nd of March. But besides those 2 days, I haven't. And Sunday I worked. Besides those 3 days, the first, the second, and the 14th, I've not left my apartment this entire month, and we're 20 days in. And I'm already going a little nuts. The conference call that I had with my one job has been like the most social activity that I've had. Um, Sort of in a shitty situation wherein, because I have my disorder, I've burned a lot of bridges, and the bridges that I haven't burned are still not that accessible because I'm sort of a difficult friend to talk to. The people that I have been talking to, all I've been talking about is the chaos going on in the world. Um, so, yeah, I have a very small group of people that I'm able to talk to through text. I'd say maybe like two or three people outside of my immediate family, which is my mom and my sister. But other than that, I'm just kind of cut off from the world. It can't be good for me. I've got some tricky situations upcoming because one, um, I got refills of my bipolar medication like I'd say 3 weeks ago. Um, I probably have enough that I could like hash out a month or something if I had to. But I was supposed to see my psychiatrist next week to get my prescription renewed. No one's answering the front desk at my therapist's office, and I left my therapist himself a voicemail asking him to get back to me. But right now, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know if their office is open. I would assume that mental health is still considered one of the essential places that like has to be open, especially during a time like this. But yeah, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get my refill of my meds, which would be terrible because I could be locked up in here for months, just literally going crazy. Um, my asthma medication, because I have asthma, I'm in sort of a high risk category for having serious complications if I catch this. So yeah, like I've got like 15 days worth of my asthma controller medicine, which is Brio, which is supposed to stop me from having attacks in the first place, and my rescue inhaler, I'm at like 100 pumps. So like I could probably get through to like the end of the month, first week or two of next month, but I need that refilled. If I can get the scripts, it's not that big of a problem because I can get CVS to deliver it, which limits the number of people that I'm exposed to by me like actually physically leaving my apartment and going to CVS. So that's cool, and they'll just send it electronically. I know I'm not supposed to be touching my face, but I haven't left this apartment in many days now. Nothing has come in and out of this apartment, and I've washed my hands a million times, even considering that out of paranoia. So, my rules are like as long as I'm in my apartment, I'll touch my face, but the second I leave this apartment, I'm not gonna touch my face. Um, but yeah, so I don't know what the deal is with getting my behavioral health meds refilled, and further, I was supposed to go to my first visit with my new primary care physician, um, and in that visit, I was gonna have them write me a new prescription for my asthma medications because I'm out of refills. Come to find out that my primary care physician, the previous one, didn't fax over the records to my new primary care physician. So I don't know if they have any basis by which to write me a prescription for asthma medication because they already said that they're gonna have my appointment be over the phone. So I'm freaked out about that because my asthma is the reason that I'm in a risk category in the first place. I'm trying to get groceries delivered, but Walmart is saying that due to increased demand, that they don't have any available delivery times. Aldi, a lot of like merchandise isn't showing up on their site, so I don't know what's there and what's not. And who else did I try? ShopRite is just insanely expensive, and not only that, but like they won't let me create like an account. It won't like send me a confirmation email to like finalize the account. So until that happens, I can't order from there, and they're like way too expensive anyway. So I don't know. I'm definitely not leaving the apartment. My mom and my sister say that they are going to go to the supermarket on Saturday because they think everything is about to be like seriously locked down. So I could have them pick stuff up for me and just leave it on the porch, but I mean, I don't like the fact that they're going outside anyway, but I guess if they are doing it anyway, that I should take advantage, but just this whole situation is crazy. And I haven't gone too nuts yet, but I know this is just the beginning. I think we're going to be cooped up for months, and that's if I haven't already caught it because one of my jobs is at a movie theater, and I've worked 3 shifts since this became an issue. I've been using hand sanitizer and gloves where I can, but still, that's like not a good spot to be in this situation. Regal shut down all of their theaters on Monday. They should have done that like a week prior, in my opinion. It's ridiculous that I had to come in on Saturday, but yeah, so they're closed. I'm supposed to be getting unemployment from the state because they're a business that shut down because of the disaster. And like I have been out of the apartment. I was out of the apartment. Was that 7? That's 6 days ago. 6 days ago. So I have to wait like a whole other week to make sure I don't have any symptoms before I can believe that I haven't been exposed. And even so, once I start having them deliver medicine and having them deliver groceries here, then it's going to be impossible to even keep up with that counter. Even though I'm going to be safe, I'm going to Lysol the hell out of anything that gets delivered here. I did Uber Eats like twice last week because I had like absolutely no food. That was a risk. Um, but yeah, and anything that I bring in from outside, I just have been Lysoling to death. And I try to let it sit out for a while because there are limits to how much time it can stay alive on certain surfaces. But I mean, it's hard. Like, I'm not really religious, but especially with my disorder, which I think makes me feel more spiritual than perhaps I would otherwise. It's crazy between this coming out of nowhere and touching everything on the globe and the entire world economy literally just shutting down to there's like a crazy locust swarm in Africa eating everything. It feels like something's gonna happen, but because I'm sick, I don't know if that is a reasonable conclusion or if that's just like a delusion or my imagination. I don't know. And like I said, I'm not really in contact with a lot of people, so unfortunately, I have too much time to think about this stuff. I, I thought of like writing like letters or recording videos for people in case something happens to me. Because from what I hear, if you're gonna die from this and you start exhibiting symptoms, it's gonna happen fairly quickly. So I may not have a chance to do it after that, but people keep trying to tell me to be calm, but like my mind already makes up doomsday scenarios like this on its own, and like this one is like actually happening. So people are optimistic, you know. The optimistic slash reasonable assumption is that a year from now they'll have a vaccine. But who knows if that's going to be the case. And even if that is the case, it means that I have to avoid catching it for an entire year. Or if I do catch it, I have to hope that like I survive it. But like I was in a hospital last year because I had the flu, and this is supposed to be worse than the flu, and they're both respiratory illnesses. And on top of that, I'm uncertain if I'm going to be able to get my asthma medications refilled, and I was supposed to be getting a at-home nebulizer, which is similar to those breathing treatments they give you in a hospital. But I wasn't able to get that purchase completed before all of this happened. So if something does happen, I'm gonna have to get to the hospital. And that would suck if it were just like normal asthma, but then by going to the hospital or leaving my apartment, I ended up catching this crap. So I definitely feel like I'm faced with my own mortality. And I don't think it's the end of the human race, but I think a lot of people are going to not be alive within the next year, and I could very, very easily, like the odds are against me, I could be one of those people. So it's a lot to take in. I guess my meds are making me artificially calm because I haven't totally freaked out. I've had moments of freaking out, but firstly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk to my therapist and or when I'm going to be able to get to talk to him or my psychiatrist, and yeah, I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. Somebody's posted something where historians were say that people should write down what's happening now in case it gets uncovered by people later. Hopefully the vast majority of people make it through this, and maybe would like to hear the story from people who can't tell it anymore at that point. So I guess this is maybe my little contribution to that in my little corner of the interwebs, but seems like the government really is going to put stuff on serious lockdown this weekend. So I'm trying to get food somehow without leaving the apartment before that happens. But it's not a good time to be a mentally ill person because our brains are already making up crazy scenarios, and we're like in a crazy scenario, and it's not like an American problem or a British problem or a Chinese problem. Like, it's everybody has the same problem at the same time. What's going to happen to this world over the next year when everyone on Earth is panicked at the same time and the economies are in turmoil and the militaries and the bombs are still there. But see, I guess that's me extrapolating because I'm sick, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, I'll post more updates. It took me a lot to get up the courage to really verbalize a lot of this stuff because it's all been in my head, or it's been stuff that I've typed to friends. But it's you almost feel like you're speaking stuff into existence sometimes when you say it out loud. So, if there is a God, and this is the end, I have like some serious flaws, but I hope that the balance between the bad things that I did and the good things that I did weigh heavily in favor of the good things that I did. I hope I caused more positivity than harm to the world. I don't know, because I've spent a lot of the past couple of years just kind of shut up in my room by myself, even when I was living with people. And they say it's because of this disease, but I feel like it's an excuse. I hope that I have time to do better than what I've been doing. And I hope everyone out there stays safe. And hopefully we can stop this thing.